Hey there, friends, and welcome back to the Clarity to CEO podcast. I'm your host, Philippa, and this month we're diving into one of the biggest frustrations I hear from entrepreneurs, and that's visibility. You're doing all the right things, you're showing up online, you're sharing value, you're posting consistently, or at least you're trying to, but nothing seems to be landing. You're just getting crickets, low engagement, no traction, and it's like your content is invisible. If this sounds familiar, well, you need to know that we're not letting that frustration carry out into another quarter for you. This month, we're attacking visibility head on, and we're doing it like CEOs, not by chasing trends or flooding the algorithm, but by understanding what actually makes your message connect with the right people in the right way. And of course, before we dive in, quick heads up, if this conversation already has you nodding your head, I want to personally invite you to my monthly Strategic Marketing Canvas workshop. It's a free live session designed to help you stop guessing your marketing and start making clear, focused decisions. You'll leave with a simple 90-day strategy, one that you can actually stick to. So grab your free pass using the link in the show notes. I would love to see your name on the registration list and have you just make a great impact in your business. All right, so let's get into today's message. 5 reasons your content might be getting ignored. So let's be honest, when content doesn't perform, it's easy to assume one of 2 things. First, you can assume the algorithm is just not working or is just working against you, which oftentimes it does, or you're not cut out for content and should go back to referrals. But the truth from a CEO lens is if your content isn't getting noticed, it's not always just about the platform. It's about the connection. And connection comes from clarity, not more effort. So let's break down the 5 most common sense reasons content gets overlooked and what you can do to fix them. All right, so the first thing we want to talk about is that you're talking to everyone and no one is listening to you. This one is foundational. You might be clear on your offer, but if your message is too broad, your people don't recognize themselves in it. Visibility starts with relevance. Your audience should feel like you wrote the post just for them. So for here, your CEO shift is you're not here to reach the masses. You're here to reach the right ones. And that starts with speaking directly to your ideal client, not the general public. I know many of us are hesitant to create that ideal persona or narrow down and niche down. It sounds a little scary because it feels like you're limiting your audience and limiting the potential of how many clients that you can actually get. But the opposite is more accurate. You actually will resonate because now you're talking directly to them. So you don't want to talk to everybody because no one's going to listen when you do that. All right, the second thing that people are doing and that we need to change is that you're not showing up where they are, meaning your audience. Are you pouring your energy into Instagram while your dream clients are actually on LinkedIn and attending in-person events instead of just being online? You can't build visibility in places your audience doesn't even hang out. This is another reason why you really need to know who your audience is, what their likes are, their dislikes. So not just your audience is female entrepreneurs. You really need to dig deep into who this audience is and know where they hang out. Do they enjoy LinkedIn? Or do they enjoy in-person events? Or are they on Instagram? Know where they are, know where they hang out, because then you can't be visible if you're not showing up where they are. They won't see you. All right, so your CEO shift, this is all about channel strategy, not guessing. Revisit where your best clients came from, what platforms, what touch points, and that information, that data is going to be your gold mine, and you need to mine it. If you aren't tracking this data, you need to add this into your strategy. Each time you get a new client, that should be one of the main questions that you ask if you don't already know. How did they find you and how did they connect with you? That is the foundation of where you could start establishing where your audience is living, because then you can start seeing patterns, especially if people are coming from the same source. That is gold mine because now you know where you really need to be visible and show up. All right, the next thing we need to really adjust is you're focused on value, not just on voice. This one's tough. You might be posting great tips, solid advice, even powerful stories. But if your voice is inconsistent or watered down, people don't know it's you. We did a whole series last month on your brand voice and how you show up. It's really important that you nail down your voice and connect your voice with that message and make sure that they're aligned. And if they don't recognize your voice, they're not going to remember your brand. They're not going to remember what you said. It's not going to make an impact into their lives. No matter how smart the information is, no matter how valuable the information is, if it doesn't sound authentic coming from your voice, it's going to fall flat. So value without voice, it's just noise. Your visibility grows when your content sounds like you, clearly, confidently, consistently. If you need help with this, like I mentioned, go back and listen to episode 217, where we talk about what is brand voice and why it matters. That is the start of that series. And you can listen to the whole series. I recommend it. All right. The next thing you need to be worried about is you're being consistent, but you're not being clear. Here, you're posting regularly. Yay, that's really good. But what's the message? If your content doesn't build towards something, like it may be a theme, a position, a mission, your audience won't know what to associate you with. And people can't refer what they can't describe. So you want to be known for something, pick a lane and plant your flag. Meaning basically establish your content pillars and know what your message is. Be very clear. So even if you're showing up consistently, if you're talking different messages every single time and different call to actions and different highlights of your business, it's all going to sound like noise. So pick a solid message that means the most to your business right now and getting you towards your business goals right now, and focus on that message. So you're talking consistently about a very clear message and making sure that you're speaking your brand voice and you're picking that lane and sticking with that content and that message so people can connect with it and really establish a history with you, establish a story with you. So you're building that reputation and you're building that trust with them. Visibility that drives referrals and revenue doesn't come from frequency alone. It doesn't matter how frequently you show up. It comes from focused, repeated messaging. You show up, but you show up with authority in a certain area consistently. All right, so the last thing we want to talk about today is that you're not making clear invitations. The call to action is so important. Yes, you're giving value, but are you telling people what to do next? Your content should be moving people through a journey. Not every post has to sell, but every strategy should. So selling is not spamming, and it shouldn't feel icky or sleazy or just salesy. Yes, you have to sell, you're a business, but it shouldn't be spamming. So a strong visibility strategy includes clear call to actions, and it doesn't always have to be a sell. A call to action can be to join your list. It could be to attend a free session, schedule a call, invest in a service, just leave a comment on a certain post. Those are all different call to actions that are going to give you information or engagements that help you along the way to your business strategy. So for instance, if you do a social media post that's asking a very specific question where the results are going to give you some good data as to where your audience is thinking on a certain topic. Maybe it's a service that you're offering. Maybe it's how they're looking at the problems they're facing. The only call to action in that post for them is to give you their opinion or to give you their thoughts and their feelings on that particular topic. So there's no commitment really for them other than saying, hey, this is me. This is how I think about this. But you can use that data in so many ways to help with your strategy and how you move forward with future content, especially when you are doing this on a regular basis and you're asking questions frequently and you're getting that engagement and getting people to respond. You could start to see patterns of what information is so important to your audience. And now you know what your messaging should really be focused on going forward. So you want people to feel invited into the conversation and don't leave them wondering what's next with your business or what's next with what you're posting, what's next with your messaging. They should feel like they're getting to know you. They should feel like they're part of the journey through you and learning more about the services that you're offering and how it could impact their life. Right, so friends, your content doesn't need to be prettier, longer, or trendier. It needs to be more clear, more brave, and more strategic. You don't need more content. You just need content that connects. Visibility is the result of focused messaging, intentional platform strategy, and bold leadership. And that's exactly what you're stepping into. So our last thing for today is if you're going to stop guessing in your marketing and start making clear decisions, I need you to grab your free pass to the next Strategic Marketing Canvas workshop using the link in the show notes. Next week, we're going to be diving into a hot debate. This is going to be organic growth versus paid ads. What's really worth it? And I'm going to help you make some confident, budget-friendly decisions that actually support your visibility goals through this. All right, so until then, I want you to stay visible, stay focused, and as always, keep shining like the CEO you are.